Hey y'all, it's TND and we have officially met our goal of 100 subscribers. Woo! And as promised, we told y'all we are doing a giveaway. It is going to be a $100 Amazon gift card. It's super easy to enter. All you have to do is be a subscriber of this channel and comment down below your Instagram handle. If you do not have an Instagram, feel free to put your email address down.
Yep. And for a second entry, follow us on Instagram at tnd.won'tshutup. Very easy.
Yeah.
So the winner will be announced on May 15th via Instagram. We're going to do a random drawing. We don't know all the specifics yet about the drawing, but stay posted. We'll let you know. And shout out to Paula Dyer 255. She was subscriber 100.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you all. Thank you so much for subscribing. We met that goal way faster. Remember, our goal was only 50 subscribers. We met 100 subscribers by the end of April. So May 15, go ahead and enter, y'all. May 15, we will announce the winner. And good luck. Now, on to the show. What's up, peeps? It's TND and welcome to another episode of TND Won't Shut Up,
where we discuss and debate relationship topics from a healthy couple's perspective.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly discussions and share with a friend or two.
Or three.
Or four.
So how you doing, baby?
I am doing excellent, baby. I'm so, in awe that we met this goal.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate all the love out there.
That was fast, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, and people were actually leaving comments down below, like, I'm number 56. So that was cute.
Yeah.
Thank you, y'all.
Yes.
How are you, baby?
I'm good, baby. The week's been great.
It has.
Yep. Weather's finally changing. Yes. Sun is out. And we're about to hit these streets this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what we discussing today, baby?
All right, we're discussing season 9, episode 56, aka 14, reunion part 2.
Woo! It was good, y'all. This was
good.
actually a really good reunion. This was a good season overall, right, baby?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
All right, so this episode starts off with Tommy announcing that Alexis decided to leave. And then he basically goes on to show Lamar's journey. Lamar the sex fiend, that's what we call him. Yes, he shows Lamar's journey and how inappropriate he's been throughout the season, and also how uncomfortable he made the ladies feel. And then Tommy asked Lamar, when you see yourself, what did you see? And he was honest. He said, I'm a bit much. So that's honest, but still, you're 40-something years old, sir. What you think about that, honey?
All right, so we all know what Lamar was about right out the gate. In the recap that we just saw, every single date he led with some sexual comment, starting from, Vanessa and Rashina asking them if they would skinny dip, when he kissed April from the side unsolicited, when he told Patrice that he'll jump her bones when they were, I don't know,
talking about God.
Yeah, I mean, he would always find a way to go there. And although I will give him a little bit of credit because he was kind of acknowledging some of the things that were just pointed out to him, but he would immediately rebut that with an excuse as to why he's taking that approach. And he said that he's sick of the old concept, tired of basic conversations, feels like you need to get right to it.
Yeah, but then he also said something about, I asked those questions, so I want to see if a lady will allow me to lead her. And I'm like, no, we will not allow you to lead us.
Yeah, that's exactly why they won't, because you're leading with that.
You sound very creepy. No, I'm not allowing a creepy, perverted man to lead me.
Exactly.
You have no self-control. That is not a good sign of a leader. So, no, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And I've told friends of mine, men that, I have as associates, don't lead with sex.
It's
okay?
coming.
If that woman wants to go there, I promise you it will happen. But the minute you start leading with that, you are going to shut that woman down.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like dating 101, dealing with a woman 101.
Right. Slow down.
So no surprise that
Sorry, baby.
no surprise that Lamar didn't find love during this season.
No, and he probably would never find love with that approach unless he's dating a prostitute, just like Patrice said. That's the only time that's appropriate. Only time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Moving on. All right. So next up, we got Jonathan. So they show a recap, and of course in his recap, they highlighted, the interactions that he had with Mika, because Mika was constantly calling him out.
She was not buying
for
anything.
not owning the fact that he omitted his marriage
to her. And
it's funny too, looking at that recap, because he just would not budge on that, But you know, this whole interview started with you know, Tommy saying, "Why were you kind of so reserved?" And you know, he said because opening up, you know, shows a vulnerability, and he doesn't want his emotions to be out of control. Mm-hmm. And I do understand that, but at the end of the day, you know, this process is ready to love, right? Yeah. So you need to open yourself up a bit.
Yeah.
And specifically when it comes to your past, that includes being married.
And your recent past, 2 years ago. Like, come on, we need to know that. But, you know, like, looking at Jonathan, he comes off like a bit awkward. You could tell like he was maybe a shy kid, low confident kid, you know.
Well, remember he learned how to date from TV shows.
Yeah, Martin and Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince,
four examples, by the way. But yeah, you can look at his body language. He just seemed a bit awkward, lack of confidence, and probably growing into himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep. But nonetheless.
Yes. So I'm not buying his excuse about not saying his baby's mother was his wife because she was being referred to as a baby's mother.
Yeah,
like, come on.
He didn't correct Mika. He should have corrected Mika, but in my eyes, Jonathan does not like Mika, and he just don't care what she think about him.
Exactly.
Even during this back and forth in this scene, when Mika was trying to say, "Why didn't you say that?" He was just like, he really shut it down really fast.
He did.
He's just like, "Okay, you win." You know, and I like that about Jonathan. I think he didn't go back and forth with anybody. He's like, "You can have it. You can have it."
Yeah, and I do like the fact that when he was inappropriate with Alexis, and that clearly was inappropriate. During the season, he owned it, right? When it happened, you know, he was accountable for his actions, and even in this recap, when he had to see that again, he once again was accountable for his actions. I mean, this is what a lot of people, unfortunately, on this show don't do.
Yeah, and he was saying the reason why he picked up Alexis, he said the pajama party was boring. He was trying to spice things up, and he realized that was an inappropriate move. And he said, "I embarrassed her, and I embarrassed myself," which shows accountability. I actually feel like Jonathan handled his negative scenes on the show. He held himself accountable, and he just basically was very honest, right, baby?
I agree.
And I like that. He handled it like a man should handle it, and I think all the other guys should take notes. You know, he didn't make any excuses. I mean, he started off making a little bit excuses with the Mika part.
He did.
Right?
He did.
But for the most part, he owned it. He apologized. He said, "I apologize to her," and he said, "I will apologize again." So, go Jonathan. And I like him with the pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on.
All right. So in the next scene, they talk about feet fetish, licking feet, sucking toes, playing with toes, massaging feet. I actually felt like this was a very unnecessary scene, but let's talk about it. What you got to say, baby?
All right. Yeah, I just honestly thought it was an unnecessary part of this. You know, he was just pointing out that Chaz said he has a thing for women in heels. You know, Lonzo said that, you know, he likes cute feet and that he would suck toes. Jonathan really owned it.
Yeah. Jonathan said,
he owned it a little too much because, you know, sucking a size 13 foot, I don't know whose foot you're sucking or toes you're sucking.
And that might be, you sure that's a woman?
Yeah.
Let me stop. There's women that wear size 13.
No, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
But still.
He loved it, though. He loves some toes. Yeah. He loves sucking him and all. You know?
Yeah. And then, of course, Chaz at the end went back to the heels again, talking about, you know, a woman in heels gets them all sauced up.
Yeah, I can't stand Chaz. So what about you, baby? What's your thing with feet? Do you like
no comment.
All right, on to the next. And the next scene we have Chaz. Y'all know I despise Chaz. He's arguably the worst guy on Ready to Love history.
Wow.
Yeah, go baby, talk about him. That's your homie.
Yeah, so Chaz was just Chazing. I mean, right out the gate, you know. So you know, they showed a recap. Obviously, in the recap, he's talking to every woman in the cast, right? And you know, he still wasn't taking any accountability.
No,
you know, he felt like he was being clear, that he was being intentional. He said he wasn't doing anything to mislead any of the women, which he was doing the exact opposite, in my opinion. Tommy had asked Patrice, you know, why later in the process, you know, she was, you know, kind of after Chaz, and you know, it was for the reason that we all knew. You know, he does seem intentional with respect to wanting to be married, or at least he made that a point. And you know, obviously that's important to her. They pan right back to Vanessa, and Vanessa was saying that, you know, he may have been trying to do things, but she always felt like it was misleading because the actions didn't match what he was saying. And then, you know, he brought up the fact that he bought her 2 bouquets instead of 1. This is like the 3rd time he brought this up.
Yeah.
during the season, he brought it up a few times. It's like, come on, bro. That's not enough for you to show your intentionality.
Yeah, he said, I bought you 2 bouquets, but I bought everybody else 1. Or 2 dozen roses, and I bought everybody else 1.
Then, during the getaway, how he was, saying that he needed space, and all the women were following him room to room.
No, he wasn't saying the women was following. This is why you took it as that.
Yes.
I took it as the camera people were following him around, because clearly the women wasn't following him around. He just needed his space, so he took matters in his own. That's what I feel.
I could be wrong.
Y'all can comment down below and let us know what y'all think about that.
Yeah, I assume that the women were following, because if the women are following, the cameraman are right behind. So I don't know. But whatever the point is, he left, and apparently Vanessa was texted him and said, hey, look, if you were going to leave, we shouldn't have got rid of William.
Exactly.
And you know what? I agree with her.
I agree with her 100%. People was saying things like, like she was wrong. But to me, I actually agree with her. Because if you knew you were going to leave, allow somebody who really wants to be here the space, the opportunity to be here. Yeah. And I don't blame her. I know at that time she was probably really frustrated because he's trying to say that they all should have checked on him when he left. But no, he gave no regards to any of the ladies that was there for him, and he had a car full of people when he left. So what did he have a conversation and say, okay, so y'all hop in the sprinter and go back home because I'm leaving? Did you give them that respect,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was that. Then also his dog Nola came into the conversation. So apparently, we know Vanessa, I guess, does not like dogs at all. I think Chaz kind of made a comparison between Nola, his dog, and Vanessa and the kids. That, if a man's brought into Vanessa's life, she obviously has to embrace the children, and vice versa. If Vanessa's brought into someone's life that has a dog, well, she needs to embrace the dog. I totally get this is not an apples to apples comparison, but I will say, being a dog owner for many years, that, if you are going to date someone with a dog, you got to understand that there is real feelings there. Right. You care for that dog, and most likely that dog's going to be with you for 15 years at least.
Yes.
So, you can't be dismissing it that way. Exactly. And what I would advise Vanessa to do is, if she does meet someone that has a dog, have that conversation early on. And if you feel like this person is really tied to this dog, it's the family pet, then you just might have to move on. Yeah,
I just honestly, if I was Vanessa, don't date someone with dogs if you really feel that strong about dogs. Like, I don't think that I wouldn't even give anybody that ultimatum,
I agree.
If they have a dog, they have a dog for a reason. I will never give my dog away for any man or any person. Like, my dog is my family member. So if you don't like dogs, then you are not the person for me. And if I did not like animals, I'm not going to date someone with animals. Like, if I did not like kids, I'm not dating someone with kids. So it's like you said, it's not an apples to apples comparison, but
it can't be dismissed.
It really cannot be dismissed. Exactly. You're so right about that.
And then they talked briefly about the petrified flower. Again, no accountability. Everybody who heard about that felt like, he was taking a jab, that it was very mean-spirited.
It was very mean-spirited.
And then what does he do? Oh, I'm poetic. This is symbolic in nature. Like, he always got some type of excuse, some type of response.
Chaz just want to hit you harder. If you do something to him, he want to go 10 times harder. So, which is why I don't even believe that he's truly engaged.
He's petty like that.
He is very petty.
And he reiterated that with his last point, talking about, I found love already in 3 months. Apparently, he's been engaged. And his fiance said, go on the show, do your thing.
He said he'd been knew her before the process, but she allowed him that space to go on the show.
Okay.
And date other women. It sounds like a strong lie. You are 47 years old. If you thought she was your fiance, don't go on the show.
Yeah. But again, this is him feeling like, I gotta have the upper hand. I have to look like I'm the one that comes out on top. So it's like, okay, so y'all rejected me. Oh, it's all good. I had somebody anyway that let me come on the show so I could do this, and I'm in love, and we're gonna be married. He just wants to kind of have the last laugh.
Honestly, he sounds so stupid. And that girl, if she really exists, if she watched this show, she should see the mean-spirited character of this man, this so-called man, and she should not marry him. He was mean. He was totally mean, baby. What he did to Vanessa was dead wrong, and he showed his petty side. I can't stand the man.
Yeah. So and you know, and the irony of all this, you know, he's calling Vanessa narcissistic. It's like he is clearly the narcissistic person. You know, everything is about him.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and in hindsight, it's amazing, right? This man who he showed his true colors at this point, but he was the most pursued man in this season.
Exactly.
You know, so that just goes to show you, you know, wolf in sheep's clothing. I mean, you really have to look at these caution flags that you see, acknowledge them, and then move on.
Yeah.
You know?
He should never. Maya was the only one that didn't give him any smoke.
Yeah.
Like, Maya was really not interested, but we'll talk about her a little later. But nonetheless, ironically, there was an 11th woman. Remember he said he dated 10 out of 11? The 11th was his so-called fiance, and he was dating her throughout the show as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Next one. All right. So in the next scene, we got Luron. So, you know, they show a recap of Luron. You know, his main connections was with Koshia and then, of course, Maya. You know, Tommy had asked, you know, about that connection that he had with Koshia. He said it was a strong connection, that he had reached out to her, I guess, after the show or, you know, after she had left the show. And basically, you know, she wasn't, I guess, responding to him. And he said he wasn't going to be chasing her, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, at the end of the day, he was completely responsible for how that played out. Yeah. If you recall, that insecurity, that possessiveness that he showed with Maya, he did that same exact thing with Koshia when they were connected. And, you know, rather than being accountable for what he did, what did he do? Start deflecting, bringing up the fact that, you know, she was allegedly dating the chef, was on Hinge, went on a date with Chaz, and apparently Chaz don't know about that date, so I really don't know if that's a factual situation. You know, I wish Maya was able to see that experience that he had with Koshia, because that previewed the behavior that he ended up exhibiting with Maya.
Right. Honestly, I'm just surprised that Maya would go back and date this guy. It was clear that Koshia and Chaz did not date because they both said the same thing. Koshia body language seemed like she was in line. She seemed very confused about that. But was she dating other people? More than likely. I mean, but they're on the show. For Luron to get so possessive and jealous and mad when y'all not even together. Y'all gotta remember the show is only 6 weeks of filming. Like, there's no way you should be feeling that deep and getting that mad about somebody dating somebody else on a dating show.
Isn't the whole premise of the show to date other people? I mean, you're getting mad that she's actually working the process the way it's designed,
which you signed up for. So I actually thought that was kind of strange, but nonetheless, surprisingly, Maya would go back.
Yeah, I was actually shocked.
And go back to Luron after he called her out of her name. Or not even if he didn't call her out of her name. The fact that he's showing jealousy, possessiveness, and she should have been dropped them. Like, it was and she was quiet, baby. She didn't say anything. She still looked very uncomfortable. Her body language says she's not interested. So I don't know if Maya just don't know how to express her emotions, but she definitely fell flat in this scene.
I'm just gonna chalk it up, and I said this a few times during the season. She is 30 years old. You know, sometimes there's still a little bit of immaturity there. Sometimes you still need to make some poor decisions to learn from them. And I think this might be one of them. Because it's almost guaranteed she's going to entertain this a little bit. She's going to see that behavior again, because I could assure you that Luron's going to do this again.
Yeah, definitely.
She's going to get called out her name, and then hopefully she'll make the right decision at that point.
Yeah, sometimes you need those experiences and to learn. So, nonetheless, on to the next. Hey.
Okay, the next topic is the whole group chat situation. So there was a recap about all the drama that ensued because of that. You know, Tommy did make a good point, you know, that there should not have been any communications outside of the process. Right. Apparently, you know, this group chat got started. Will, you know, being consistent with most of the men on this season, not taking any accountability, you know, trying to play ignorant to you know, his influence on this whole process, right?
Ooh, they called him out.
Yeah, and you know, Luron did just call him out. Just, you know, even showed the text messages to Tommy. So it was very obvious that, you know, Will was looking at the whole group chat as a means for him to get the upper hand in the process, you know? Koshia was pointing out something valid, that, you know, that interaction that Alexis was having with Will, you know, clearly she was spilling information back to Will. And I believe that she was influencing Will's perspective of Koshia.
Yeah, that's what Koshia said.
You know, and that's wrong.
It is very
You
wrong.
know, that is definitely wrong. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Will got put out. Kind of embarrassing because he was just like, show the text, and the text showed everything that they basically was accusing him of, and he even said it said, I have an inside connect, you know, an inside source, which everybody assumes is Alexis, which makes sense because that's the only one he was connecting with. I will say I do like Will's calm demeanor. From what I could see, he's very calm. He does not jump off that chair at all. He don't budge. But that argument between him and Luron was very petty. Like, I got more money than you. Your chain is fake. Like, it sounds like a freaking high school kind of.
It's ridiculous.
Like,
but these are
roasting session.
Yeah, these are two low level guys.
Yeah,
so
well, all the guys are low level.
Different. Yeah, and you know, and then April made a good point at the end. You know, she said she was upset because, you know, this wasn't a game. And Will was referring to it that way. And of course, Will said, oh, well, no, I'm looking at it more like Hunger Games. This ain't nothing like Hunger Games. Okay, it's not a game. People came on here with an intention to find somebody. Right. And by doing this kind of thing, you tainting the process.
Yeah.
So long story short, group chat was inappropriate. Unfortunately, there was some negative effects that came as a result of that. And hopefully in the future, you know, or in the next season, you know, nobody starts having communications outside of the process.
I mean, I think it's okay to communicate outside the process, but I think what is wrong with that is when you're tainting other people's opinions. So that's where the group text is wrong, because the guys were in the group text giving opinions on the women, and you know, basically tainting people's experiences. Like,
and a lot of that is not you know, it's not validated, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, people are just saying things, and you know, unfortunately, some people are more receptive to anything that they hear.
Exactly.
So it certainly could taint the process.
Right.
All right. So next we have Justin and Mika. Finally, a positive situation.
Yeah.
Right. They really seem connected. I want to start with that.
We give Mika smoke, baby. Don't lie.
We did.
Early on, we were like, Mika gotta go.
Yeah.
She's this, she's that, she's the third.
But I changed
my mind.
Yeah, like Tommy said, you know, they definitely took the process seriously. You know, the biggest obstacle that they had obviously was children. And, you know, Mika, I'm glad she kind of owned the fact that she really doesn't want children. I know she kind of swayed a bit during the season. It kind of threw us off. But at the end of the day, it's obvious that she doesn't want it. But what I had to respect was the fact that, you know, Justin's like, you know, I think he wants a kid. But, you know, he said 90% of what he wants, she provides. And if that 10% is, you know, not being able to have his own kid, he's willing to take that risk.
He's willing to compromise, which I don't agree with compromising something as...
It's so significant.
It is significant.
And one thing that I've learned in my life is resentment is real. They could have a great, healthy relationship, but if that's something that you felt you needed to do within your life and you're unable to do it, you know, it could really cause problems down the road.
But he also asked Justin, has he met her kids? He said he FaceTimed the kids before he spoke to her daughter. So it seems like they're going in the right direction, and they're moving at their pace, which I like. Mika said that his dog likes her, and Mika's glowing, blushing. It really seems like a genuine relationship. I like that they're moving at the beat of their own drum, and they did mention that they are in love. And Justin said that they are locked in. He really likes her, and he really appreciates. He said he told Glenn backstage that if you didn't leave, I wouldn't have met her. So they really look happy. They did make me tear up. Like, it was cute.
Yeah,
it was. Why am I crying again, baby? Yeah, but go ahead, baby.
No. So it's just good to see, you know, that the process can work.
Yeah.
You know, it does take, you know, people who obviously take this process seriously, and also, you know, that are accountable for their actions and stuff. And when you have, and you know, when I think about this season, so few people were accountable for anything that they were doing. And if you can't even start from a place of being accountable for the mistakes that you make, the choices that you make, then how could you even remotely build a meaningful relationship?
Yeah, and I feel like everybody has good things to say about Justin. Even backstage, it was like he's been genuine from the jump. And Justin never whispered sweet nothings in anybody's ear. You know, he was always very clear. You know, with the children, he was not that clear, but clearly he said he's willing to compromise. So he was clear. He said he don't want kids. And nothing about Justin, you have to remember, he's a school teacher. He is around kids all the time. So, you know, maybe that desire is being fulfilled by his kids in school. I think he's a 5th grade gym PE teacher, so he's around a lot of kids anyways. So, and Mika has a 6-year-old son, and he could still raise a kid. So, it might work. I will say I'm not too sure if this is still a long-term thing, but as of right now, it's super cute. I'm rooting for them, and I hope that they make it, because they are cute, and just to see Mika in that state makes me happy, because you remember when we first saw her, we thought that she was like, you know, had no emotion. She was boring. You know, we had so much to say about her. We gave her a lot of smoke, I'm not going to lie. But I honestly see that this man has softened her up a little. And she just really looks happy. And they look cute together. I'm not the biggest fan of blonde hair, but Mika is a beautiful girl. And I just think it worked. Everything worked.
And men, take note, you know, Justin was very intentional.
Yes.
Right? When he locked in with her, he started to pursue her.
Yeah.
There was no misleading. There was no manipulation. And when you do this, a woman feels that.
Yeah.
And a woman will be receptive
exactly.
to that.
He even told Rashina, you know, you're a cool person, but I'm going to go, you know, I'm hone into the connection I have with Mika. Exactly. Like, he was very clear. He was transparent. He respected every woman in the process. And I really thought that was a good example of how you should move in this process, you know? And I like that. I really did like that.
I just wish them luck. And,
I really do.
I'll definitely check in after the fact to see how they're progressing.
Yeah, I'm really curious to know how they're doing now, because this show has been filmed. I think the reunion was filmed October 2023.
Okay.
So I'm curious to know how they're doing now, and I hope that they're doing okay. All right. So then we didn't talk about Glenn. They had the Glenn cam going on throughout this whole reunion, and basically the Glenn cam has confirmed everything that we said. This man is awkward,
lacks confidence. He seemed very anxious. He should be seeing a psychiatrist. I mean, that's how this man seemed like he needs to be on some anxiety meds. He's very awkward. Remember the time that he was in that one scene and he was like, oh, this blue couch, confessionals. Like, he just had nothing to say. A very anxious man. So, yeah. And Tommy asked if he had any connection. He made any connections, and he said he felt like he made a connection with everyone, including Chaz.
And then he also talked about, and Koshia said that he dated her cousin in high school, and she immediately shut it down. But then he said something about that's not the way it happened. So I don't know.
I don't know how it would have played out if he was on the show, but it's highly likely that he wasn't going to connect with anybody.
Yeah.
That behavior that he's exhibiting, I mean, it would have came out even more.
Yes.
Under the scrutiny of, you know, the situations, the scenarios that they were put in. So I'm not even surprised that he didn't connect with anybody with the speed dating.
I don't think this is the type of dating he needs. He needs a very one-on-one, intimate, not out in public type of dating scenario, not on TV. So I'm glad he didn't come on the show. I think he would have made a fool of himself. And then Laylin mentioned that they had a connection, but he seemed to dismiss that too, so I don't know. And he seemed like he kind of had to put a connection with Patricia as well. So, but by the way, Patricia looks amazing with that blue, her hair. I would love to see more of her on that show. She seemed like she had a little spunky personality. But nonetheless, then Tommy just goes around and asks everyone how they're doing and share their current status.
All right, so first was Justin and Mika. You know, they said that they're just kind of move at their own pace, not at the ready to love pace. Yep. I love that, because that's what couples should do. Not set any timelines, but just see how things progress.
Yeah, and go from there. Build a strong, happy, and healthy relationship should be your goal. Not a timeline by a certain date. That's how we feel about it.
Exactly. And they seem aligned with an ultimate goal of being married, which is also a good thing.
Yeah,
so
it's cute.
Yep. And then Will, of course, being Will, you know, had to put out there that he's talking to 2 different girls and this, that, and the other. Like, how stupid is that, right? You just said on national TV you're talking to 2 girls. Do these girls know?
They might know. And then Lamar said he was still looking, right?
He said he's still on the market.
He's still on the market, so he's looking for a woman that he can have fun with, you know. I just think he can find that. He just needs to change the way he dates, you know. Trust me, there's a lot of women who's interested.
There's
in that
somebody
lifestyle.
for everybody.
There is, but he needs to change the way he approach women and have a conversation with women, and then, you know, when they get comfortable, tell them like you like what you're interested in. Maybe, which there's women out there that's interested in the same things you are. It's all about the approach, you know. Come appropriate.
Right.
And then we had William and Patrice, they're still kicking it. William want to take Patrice to the fair. They said they've been dating since the brunch date, and Alonzo made a face because Patrice was making all that fuss, but the whole time she was dating William. So
exactly, and truth be told, they are somewhat aligned in that he has 3 children, she already has 2 children. Of course, they're gonna have a large family. Both been married, right? So
I think they're more aligned. I don't know why they didn't continue. She was pursuing Alonzo with the, what does he have on? Alonzo outfit, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But
and then Vanessa said surprisingly that she was connected with Dominique. I guess apparently they have been communicating maybe during the show and even when he got eliminated from the show. And of course they panned over to Chaz, and Chaz had a little facial gesture feeling some kind of way.
And Dominique said, we have a tremendous bond and I trust her. So that's pretty deep. I really hope that they make it. I mean, I wish well on everybody. So, and I think Vanessa overall is a great woman. She comes off like a very stand-up woman, classy. I love the way she handled Chaz, because he could have really made anybody blush. He could have made anybody blood boil and go off like Alexis. But she handled herself well. So I wish them well. And then Luron says I absolutely adore Maya. Maya just seems so disinterested. She says the doors are not closed, but she's giving him a chance.
She didn't say much this entire show, and sometimes I think not saying something speaks volumes.
Yeah.
So I think maybe she's entertaining this, but I don't think she's really committed.
Well, clearly she's not.
To building this relationship.
Yeah, she said the door is still open on live TV. She said that.
Yeah.
I think she could, if she was really connecting with him, she would have been like Vanessa and Dom, and just basically say, what is the current state of your relationship now? I'm leaving the door open. I'm gonna leave the door open. I'm gonna leave the door open. Okay, sorry.
I think Luron probably wanted to say that he loved Maya, but he wasn't trying to put that out there on national TV.
Exactly.
At least that's the sense that
he seemed to really, really like Maya, and it does not seem aligned at all. It does not seem like the feelings are mutual.
And we know, that's not true love, right? He's got so many issues, so many things he would need to work on. It's easy for people to throw that out there, but there's so much behind truly loving a person, and I don't think he didn't even say it,
so we're just assuming that. But nonetheless, that was the end. It was a good ending. So what do you think should have been included in this reunion? I feel like I wanted to hear more of Maya. One, I wanted to hear about Maya's and Will's connection, because they were Maya and William's connection, because they were connecting, right? Yeah. And for a long time, for more than half of the episodes, they were connecting. So I kind of wish that they would have talked about that, right?
I mean, I would like to hear more about it.
Yeah. They should have highlighted that, I would say.
I would have removed the segment about the feet. I think that was unnecessary.
I wouldn't even give Glenn that much camera time, just like they didn't give, what's that guy name? What's this one name here, baby? The one with the nutcracker suit. Whatever his name. We didn't barely seen anything about him. So I was like, I didn't care to hear anything. We didn't hear much about Patricia either. But yeah, overall, good reunion. Honestly, I've been watching Ready to Love forever, and this has been hands down the best season, entertainment wise. Maybe not finding connections, but entertaining wise, I was entertained from episode 1 to episode 57.
I agree.
Episode 14. But nonetheless, don't forget about our giveaway. Look on the screen. We are showing you our Instagram right now, and we are also including the entry instructions. It's super duper easy. Just make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Comment down below your Instagram handle, and if you want a second entry, just go on over to Instagram and follow us there as well. The Instagram page is
TND won't shut up.
Yeah, so TND won't shut up. So go there and follow us. And once again, we want to thank you all very, very, very much for helping us meet this goal of 100 subscribers in way less time than we anticipated, right?
Yep.
So we appreciate that, and we want to continue to keep the conversation going. Comment down below. Comment your Instagram down below. Comment your comments regarding this episode and the season. And we look forward to making more videos. I think we're going to review that new show. I can't think of what it's called.
Stay posted.
Yeah, so just stay posted. And maybe we just do a final recap video on Ready to Love. Maybe. We'll see. But thank you so much for rocking with us throughout this whole entire season. This is our first full season that we reviewed. So thank you. And do you want to say anything, maybe?
No.
Just that's it. So, and on that note, T and D is
out.
Ow!
Times I'm good and bad, happy to say.